Welcome to Reread. We're on book 2 of the Darkness Trilogy by Troy Denning. This is called The Unseen Queen. Admiral Sov, C.F. Sov, one of the, is he Admiral? I can't remember. He's one of the big commanders of the New Republic Galactic Alliance fleet. He dies in a drunk driving accident. Like someone, right now the Keelix are dealing in this ambrosia or whatever. It's a new word that I guess Troy Denning just found out, and he says it a lot. So they're drinking this, Keelix swill, and someone got too drunk and rammed into some kind of freighter that killed off most of the Alliance key leaders. Really weird to kill off Admiral Sov that way, especially since he was so important and integral in New Jet Order. But I guess they just want to start fresh again, or they just had no story for him going on. And Troy Denning loves killing off characters. But I'd forgotten that's how he died. In fact, I didn't even remember what really happened to him after New Jet Order. I thought maybe he was in Legacy of the Jedi, or Legacy of the Force, but I don't know. I didn't know what happened to him, so I'd forgotten about that. And that's kind of sad that he just kind of dies off camera. They just say this afterwards, Cal Mas, who's still the head, the president, or whatever they're calling him now, he's the one that says that. And so now the tensions are tight between the Keelix, the Galactic Alliance, and still the Chiss. So they're on everyone's hate list right now. Now, Jasen goes to visit Tenel Ka. Tenel Ka has a very important message. He brings Ben Skywalker with him. Tenel Ka says, hey, leave him outside. He's like, no, I'm not going to leave him outside. Okay, you stay outside, but we'll keep the door open. He's just trying to be protective. He has no idea that Tenel Ka had their baby. They had a little love baby in the first book, even though we didn't know that. Now he has a daughter. And that changes Jasen instantly. This is where he starts going to the dark side. He starts doing things like memory wipes. He memory wipes Ben of the whole, because Ben finds out and he can't keep a secret. He strangles Ben by the throat because Ben's getting out of, and makes him go unconscious. And he has bruises on the neck, but Jasen isn't worried about being, usually that would really upset him that he did that, but this was important. He has to protect his child. Anything to protect his child, Tenel Ka says there's assassins coming after the child. In fact, assassins do go after him. It's Tachum, his mother-in-law. And so he goes after her, and right before the police come to arrest her, the Hapes, security guards or whatever, Jasen has totally just, lobotomized her, and everything. So he's obviously falling to the dark side here. It's all foreshadowing for the next series, and I get it. But it's because once he sees that he has a daughter, he'll do anything. He'll kill to protect his daughter. And he's falling into the same steps that Anakin Skywalker fell into, right? Wanting to protect Padme, right? Wanting to protect their children. That was his breaking moment. So they're kind of mirroring the two fallen heroes here, because Jasen is super powerful now too, and now he'll do anything to protect his daughter, which is a good story. Now, Kip is back. Kip and Corran have animosity toward each other, but this time it's done with respect by the author. Both sides are wrong. In fact, at the end, I'm kind of ruining this, but they keep having fights, but it's not like they're childish. It's like, usually it was Corran he's the mature one, and Kip is the childish one. And now they're both being a little bullheaded. And I like that. Kip doesn't always have to be put in a good light, right? He can be strong-willed and whatnot, and I'm fine with that. In fact, when Luke's missing, I can't remember if this is in book 1 and 2 because I read them in the same day, but when he's missing, Cal Mas says, who can be a leader? And he points to Kip, and Kip's like, me a leader? No. Luke Skywalker is the leader. He'll always be the leader. I will never be a leader. And that's nice he rejects that, but at the same time, he thought about it. Of course, he's Kip. And I think this is in book 3, I know for sure, but I want to say it just in case I don't. He gets Kip and Corran to stop fighting, and he tells Corran that he can be a little pompous sometimes. So it's like, oh! So shots fired by Troy Denning. I definitely agree. Corran Horn comes across pompous. In fact, maybe he was quoting me on the StarWars.com forums, and I would say that every day, except I said worse things about Corran Horn. I should also mention there's a lot of the game, people playing the game Dejarik, which is that little chessboard on the Millennium Falcon. It was played by Han Solo and C-3PO, where Han Solo does this wild move that 3PO doesn't even think is legal, but it's causing him to lose now, whereas he thought he had the captain dead to rights. And then this time, Luke and Han are playing it. And Luke claims it was he said the origins of this game was an old Jedi game. And I don't think West End Games ever did this. I don't know if anyone ever did. Explain the rules of Dejarik. That'd have been really cool. This is a game that doesn't, we know about the little round circular chessboard and the hologram characters they were playing in episode 4. But who explained the game? I don't know if anyone has. Now, again, I haven't looked this up. Maybe I should have before I did it because everyone's screaming in the comments at me. But you don't see it be getting played that much. And here, there's a lot. He talks a little bit about strategy, but doesn't go into what the game consists of. Maybe there are some rules out there. I don't know. I don't remember Weston Games giving any. But either way, it's interesting that that degenerate board on the Millennium Falcon is still there and is getting played. I thought, well, maybe it doesn't get played anymore. Maybe it's like my Xbox. It just plays DVDs. You know, maybe he just eats food off the degenerate board and goes, I really need to play this game someday when I'm not eating off of it, like a table. Now, Leia, of course, is trying to be a Jedi in this, and there's one part where she's trying to do a mind wipe. She's like, she has the blaster, and she goes, everything is going to be okay. Do you understand? She's trying to do a mind wipe. And the guy goes, whatever you say, lady, you're the one holding the blaster. And Leia goes, dog, I really need to work on my mind wipes or mind control or whatever. I thought that was really funny. Only Troy Denning would think of something that witty to do there. And it's Leia just struggling. Anyway, the Dark Nest basically sets a trap for the Galactic Alliance and the Fifth Fleet. They're giving out these like model toys of the Millennium Falcon, of Luke's X-Wing from the Death Star and whatnot, Death Star run. They gift them a bunch of these cheap gifts where inside is a bunch of little bugs. They're going to be out and basically kill everyone. And there is some big action at the end of this, and it's really good. We do find out that the Dark Nest is alive and well, even as they moved over. There's a new substance called the Fizz that is infecting all the Keelix, and we find out that the planet has some, I can't remember what they're called, microbots or whatever, and they're the creators of the Fizz. And when anyone somewhat attacks, so they feel like they are attacking the planet, they will infect them with the Fizz, which is causing much pain to the Keelix. Of course, Raynor thinks that he got set up. You know, he doesn't know yet. And Raynor, man, I know this is the tough thing. Right now, he's just your generic. You know, it's sad because he's a shell of his former self. But I know what's going to happen to him later on. I know in Fate of the Jedi they're going to go more into his character, and I love that. And yeah, this is what sucks, because knowing that, I feel for Raynor. I don't think you're supposed to. I think you're supposed to want to strangle his throat a little bit. You're supposed to be frustrated with him. I think that's what Troy Denning wanted, because you're happy he's back, but goodness gracious, help the Jedi. But now for me, I'm like, oh man, I know what's going to happen to him later on. Oh, I feel so bad for him. That's the problem with rereading these sometimes, especially when you know the fate of a character. You feel a little softer for them. But overall, Unseen Queen is so much fun. This series is so much fun. I don't know why it never got included. I always felt like it does feel like it's New Jedi Order era. It's not. It's part of the Legacy era. But it feels more connected to the Vong books and everything, the New Jedi Order and stuff like that, than it does. It feels like Legacy of the Jedi is a new, fresh beginning, you know, whereas the Dark Nest trilogy was ending the old New Jedi Order. But that's just me. I don't know. You can let me know if you feel the same way, but I definitely feel that way reading all these books. All right, so next up, Book 3. See you then.